back to the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. My name is Scott. If you're new to this channel and you're looking for reviews of different whiskeys such as bourbons, rye, American style whiskeys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also make sure to hit the bell notification. That's just going to alert you to when I'm doing new uploads or live streams. If you're already a subscriber and supporter of the channel, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for all of your support. It means more to me than you can imagine. So thank you for that. So today from Heaven Hill Distillery, we've got the J.W. Dant Bottled in Bond. So this again is kind of my continuation of my bottom shelf kind of bargain bourbons, with all of the hype that gets kind of surrounded with all the special releases and all of that every year. There's all of these great bottom shelf bourbons that sit there on a daily basis that offer an absolute fantastic bargain for, you know, the money that you can pay, and just the bourbon that it is just incredible a lot of times. So, you know, it may not always blow you away with the total complexity, but for what it is, the prices that they offer a great value. So specifically, again, this is the J.W. Dant Bottled in Bond. MASHBILL on this was undisclosed. I wasn't able to find the MASHBILL. If I do find it, I'll link it in the video. And the reason that this bottle is empty is over my left shoulder, you'll see in that decanter up there is what I have in that decanter. So it's one that I kind of go to a little bit. So I'm a fan of the J.W. Dant. So again, non-age stated, but we know with it being bottled in bond, it's got to be a minimum of 100 proof and aged at least 4 years. So MSRP on this is really inexpensive. I mean, it's anywhere from about $9 to $12. So if you're really talking, you know, bottom shelf bargain bourbons, you know, this is probably on par with the JTS Brown Bottled in Bond, the very old Barton 100 proof, which I did a review of, so I'll leave that linked above as well, so if you want to check that out. And again, this is more along the lines of my bottom shelf bargain bourbon. So with that being said, so why don't we get into the review? And typically what I do with my reviews is we'll go through the color, we'll go through the appearance, we'll nose it, taste it, and then kind of get into really anything else that may apply to the bourbon itself. So, all right, so first you can see color-wise, again, a pretty nice copper, like a light copper, amber type of color. So I think it's got a great color for, you know, about a 4-year, you know, bourbon. So, all right, let's get into the, and again, I do it in most or all of my reviews is just to kind of move the whiskey around in the glass a little bit, I guess, introduce a little bit of oxygen to it, let it open up a little bit. I'm always a fan of, no matter what the whiskey is that you're drinking, you know, let it sit in the glass for a few minutes at least. Let it open up. It really does change a lot of the times. Not always, but it will kind of help to let the whiskey open up a little bit. And then second is you'll get to see by just moving it around in the glass how oily it is. And this actually surprisingly is very oily. There's some nice legs on it. It's kind of clinging to the glass all the way around. So really, really good sign. So all right, let's get into the nose. So again, with it being a Heaven Hill product, they're very known for this nuttiness, this peanut type of aspect, and that's there like right away. Really nice kind of a vanilla. It's kind of a heavy vanilla. Again, that rich caramel note is there. Little bit of corn presence on this. One that I didn't get as much on the very old Barton that I didn't get as much of the corn. This I'm getting a little bit more of the corn presence on it. Light butterscotch note. Not a lot of heat, not a lot of ethanol, like in terms of nosing it. Some dark fruits are there as well. Light cinnamon. Really nice nose. It's a classic, again, a classic or typical type of bourbon. You don't know what that's there. There's nothing off-putting about it whatsoever. Just a nice, straightforward bourbon nose. So you can't go wrong with that. All right, most importantly, let's see what it tastes like. So, Cheers. All right, so recently I did a review of the very old Barton and the JTS Brown. I would say for me, this is probably right away a little heavier on the nuttiness side of things. This is more typical or along the lines of what you start to get with the Heaven Hill product. Is just a heavier nuttiness factor to it. So after you kind of take a sip, that nuttiness is right there, but then it kind of moves into, again, some of the caramels, the vanillas, really nice spice. For me, this is hitting like right on that mid palate. You get that nice spice, the oak that's there, some of that caramel sweetness, that like cinnamon red hot, again, right on that mid to maybe moving towards the back of the palate, but most of it for me is right on that mid palate. Again, some of that corn presence that's there, but really overall a nice entry level, bottom shelf bargain, bourbon. They're fantastic sipping whiskeys. And again, these are one of those ones that, you don't feel bad sipping on it. You definitely don't feel bad making cocktails with it. They're 100 proof. For me, that's a magic number with cocktails. I like that 100 proof. It's usually got, again, some nice proof to it, that spice factor. So tasting something first and trying to see, whether or not there's that spiciness to it, this would really do well in a cocktail. But aside from that, just sitting down and sipping on something, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. A really nice entry level bourbon. And again, there's that sweetness, that spice, the oak. Again, the finish part of it, not overly long by any means, and you wouldn't really expect it to be, but overall, again, this would go into my buy category. It's just a really great, bottom shelf bargain, bourbon for whatever, $9 to $12 to $13 for a $7.50. You can't go wrong with that. So if you can find the 100 proof bottled and bond in your area, do yourself a favor and buy a couple of them. I think you'll be very, very happy with that. So again, the JTS Brown, the JW Dant bottled and bond, fantastic entry level bourbon. So with that being said, so like, subscribe, make sure you're leaving comments below. I'm always interested to hear people's feedback and thoughts on the whiskeys that are being reviewed. Let me know your thoughts on whether you like it, if you do, if you don't, reasons why, all of that. And also, if you'd like to support or contribute to the channel, you can through my Patreon page, which I'll have linked in the description below. So with that being said, so I want to say thank you so much for tuning into another one of my reviews. Hopefully we'll see you again on the next one. And remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.